She doesn't do any of that.
Nah, no, she doesn't do any of it. Oh, just trust this guy. He clearly has looked at her channel. Hang on, I just need just shit everywhere, really. When you speak, do you hear yourself at all? Jamie, I swear if this hurts my feelings.
The rise of that vegan teacher. So you, dude.
This is part 2 of my...
Oh my God. Can you just stop that vegan teacher? So you will pay to hurt animals. Do you also eat cats? What about dogs? Sure. I will eat a cat and a dog if it will make you stop talking. I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, so edgy. I mean, the logical conclusion of probably the arguments that you would make in favour of the exploitation and killing of other sentient beings would probably lead you to that conclusion. So is it really a joke? Papa gut leftovers, this person. Get them to debate you. Would they?
I don't care. In fact, I don't care so much that I made a video telling everybody how much I just don't care. I really want everybody to know that I really don't care.
Initially, I was going to sit in the classroom and keep going over his speech. But I thought I would take a moment just to show this post that I have come across on Instagram.
Okay. This looks like somebody in another country, maybe, working for DoorDash. What do you want me to tell you, bro? They just should probably put the food inside of a bag so I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, imagine it's going to mess up the hamburger. You know, like, imagine you got you got like a hamburger from a diner on DoorDash and they just left it out in like a cage while you drove. That's insane.
So, AJ.
A J.
Do you eat dogs as well as all the other animals?
Maybe. Who cares?
No?
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? Yikes!
Who cares?
Why not? Do you eat cats?
Honestly, eat cat. I hate cats. They're not. They're cats.
I mean, like, it's just these sorts of people, right? They say this shit and they're like, oh, it's just a joke, bro. It's just a joke. But at the same time, I think he's being serious. I hate them, therefore f*** them. That's good. That's really good. I hate them, therefore condemn them to killing. Ew.
Don't have any value. They're obnoxious.
I mean, you're the most obnoxious person I've encountered in the last couple of days, so you have no value? Ew!
I hate just eat cats, please.
You're funny. This
No?
is edge, pure edge. I love
Why
this.
not?
Yeah, I love this, yeah.
Do you know who Lewis Hamilton is?
No.
He's apparently a very famous race car driver.
Okay.
I didn't really know about him until a few years ago when somebody told me that he was vegan.
Okay.
In my research, which I do every single morning for several hours...
Why? What do you research? What do you have to research?
I looked at Lewis Hamilton's site.
What do you mean?
And he had...
What do you have to research? You got the world at your fingertips on Google. Oh, what could you possibly have on the internet to research? Oh, I just sit here and say F cats all day. Because I'm really edgy. Like, what would you possibly have to... Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, I will try and find this person and try and debate them, I guess.
reposted something by this group. This group is called Karmagawa. They're talking about saving cats and dogs. Here you see a man paying money to this woman.
Okay.
Because he's
I'm concerned about, like, this is what makes me think he's kind of serious. Like, there's just... doesn't seem to give a f***. Like, right in front, look, like, there is a sentient being in here. They're in a cage, barely bigger than themselves. It looks like their mouth is, like, muzzled up. And they look very scared. And he's like... Whatever, dude. I'd eat them if that vegan teacher would shut up. It's yikes, isn't it? It's like so yikes.
Buying a dog.
Oh, I thought that was a pig. Oh man, that's so sad.
In the same way that you, AJ, pay money to buy other animals.
Yeah, but the difference is I don't have to see how terrible it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine that you're gonna eat the dog.
yeah, so it's all about you and your feelings. Like, oh, well, the difference is, like, I could acknowledge that this thing would happen to, another individual, but the difference is I didn't have to see it. Therefore, what? It's fine? No, it's not about just you in this equation and, the feelings that you hold. You should see that as oh, well, regardless, they are hiding this thing from me that happens that's really bad. I don't want that to happen because it makes me uncomfortable to, know that that's happening because that's really bad. No, we're just, as soon as you take away the reality from me of what happens, suddenly it's fine. No, it's not. It's just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. And if you acknowledge that it does happen, you should stop directly paying for it. Shit.
I just wish that they would be more humane about it.
How do you humanely exploit and kill someone? Please, I'm waiting. I'm really waiting. I really want to know how you humanely exploit and kill someone. I will wait forever, seemingly, at this rate to find out.
Sometimes people boil these dogs alive. It's horrible. But if you just kind of bang, you know what I mean? And
if you just kind of bolt gun them in the head quickly, take their life away from them, or quickly gas them, or slit their throats, then it's really doesn't matter.
Died like that. All right, that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Hi. Yeah, I'm in the court right now because I killed 3 people, but dude, I did it really quickly. So I don't know why this is so much of a problem. I did it really quickly. I thought that this would be a more humane method of doing it. It's possibly almost as if how quickly you do it doesn't suddenly make it okay. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's humane. Humane, as long as it's more humane.
That are murdered for you. Chickens, cows,
yeah,
pigs.
I'm not comfortable with this whole, more humane. Okay, yeah, it might be more humane to do it quicker, but it doesn't suddenly make it right or acceptable morally. It would be more humane for someone to shoot me in the head than, freaking put me in a torture chamber for a month and then slowly kill me. Okay, neither of those things would be morally right to do. Oh, God. Imagine if you were, a victim of his choices directly, and then you heard this shit. Sometimes I'm glad that other animals can't really understand human English to the degree that the typical person can, because it'd be it'd just be diabolical to hear the shit that people say as an excuse for why they should be able to munch on their corpses and exploit them.
What is that? Cakes?
Chickens,
Cows,
pigs.
Cakes? Or is she saying pig? It sounds like she's saying cake. It sounds like she's saying cake.
Turkeys, chickens,
Is
cows,
he really struggling with this?
pigs.
Oh, it's pigs. Okay.
Yeah,
It's me.
I mean, yeah, it's you. It is you, babe.
Turkeys, lambs. Look at this dog who is tied up, AJ,
Wow. It's terrible.
with tape.
Yeah.
You don't give a f***, do you? It's just these people who are very lucky in positions to probably go through their lives avoiding being victims. It's usually these people who for some reason just don't give a f*** about anyone else.
On her nose. As if
Bro, listen. Yeah. I'm crying alert. Listen, not for nothing here.
This is sort of person who would have a wife and then they'd be crying and be like, oh, you're crying again. Fuck's sake. Why are you doing that? No matter your opinion of that vegan teacher, okay, there's someone crying on video because of what's happening here, which is, you would hope, something that you find bad. Crying alert. Yikes.
But I'm tired of that vegan teacher. She's all talk. I'm tired of her.
I'm tired of people not giving a fuck about individuals insofar as they actually directly pay for their exploitation and killing.
She's 100% all talk, okay? First of all, every single time she talks about animals and how you shouldn't eat them and all that stuff, she never supplies us with any alternative. She doesn't have any recipes. She does.
Are you fucking joking me right now? That vegan teacher uploads a video every fucking 5 seconds. No, hang on. I'm just gonna do this. Okay, 1 second. Welcome to my kitchen. Vegan snack time. Cookies with applesauce. To you, it's ugly. To me, it's beautiful. There's a food thing. Oh, wow. Look, there, like a vegan magazine about vegan foods. Like, are you joking me? Are you actually? Am I? Oh God. Unbelievable. Okay, carry on.
Doesn't go like, hey, this is how you could eat this, and this is how you can make it taste similar to meat, or
Oh my God, like, of all the criticisms of that vegan teacher, why do people just say things that are just actually false? Are you a troll? Are you good?
she doesn't do any of that.
Nah, no, she doesn't do any of it. Oh, just trust this guy. He clearly has looked at her channel.
And then she's like, oh my God, look, dogs are dying. It's so sad. Shut up. You don't care. Listen, not for nothing, but like you have a domesticated animal.
What do you mean she doesn't care? She's vegan, and she freaking says inflammatory shit online to get people's attention, and constantly, like, again, like all those videos. I mean, you could say a lot about her, but could you say she really doesn't care when she puts like, you are a creator, you should know how long it takes to put a video up, even if they're shorts and everything. It's effort to do this. There's probably an element of care there and passion for this subject to drive her to do it, don't you think? No, just because you don't give a fuck, mate.
Now, is that as bad as eating one? Probably not. But at the end of the day, you're not giving that animal full consent over it.
So she adopted an animal who was brought into the world by humans, and you're really going to even try and compare this? Like, if we want to talk about this topic, we would talk about breeding domesticated animals. But she's spoken about that as well, if you'd know, if you actually just looked at her fucking channel. She's talked about breeding and how you should adopt and not shop because of these issues. And now you're like, oh yeah, well, this is a terrible, terrible thing. Like, what?
Itself, you talk about how cows have their milk forcibly removed from them. Open your front door and let the dog, and just see where your fucking dog does. Oh, the dog's gonna run away? Crazy.
Oh yeah, and get hit by traffic. Oh my God. Oh, if you really cared about your kid, right, you just open the door. Are they gonna run away? Yeah, because they don't want to be around you. That's what it is. It's got nothing to do with the fact that due to their lack of capacity or understanding of social norms and, you know, things like, you know, traffic, and that actually it would be in their best interest to be protected. Otherwise, they would be privy to endangering other individuals and endangering themselves. No, nothing to do with that. You clearly are just imprisoning them. There's nothing else going on here. Genius take from an absolute genius. Please, tell me more of your really clever takes. I am dying to hear them.
Crazy. And you want to know what? If the dog doesn't run away, it's because you groomed the dog, that vegan teacher. Okay? Because you get a dog and you put it in your house and it wants to leave, and then you're like, nah, you're not doing that. And then the dog develops Stockholm syndrome. That's the reality of having pets is abusive to animals. Okay?
Breeding pets into existence. Okay, this is a conversation, but to adopt an animal who's already been brought into existence, they're in a shelter, they need a home. Oh yeah, it's abusive. Yeah, if you've got the room to do it and you can look after an individual, you've got a bond with them, they seem to enjoy your company. Yeah, okay.
By your logic. That's just the way it is. And you're like, I have a pet, I have a dog, and
By her logic, according to where? She hasn't talked anything about, like, adopting animals and, looking after them. In fact, she's encouraged adopt, don't shop. This is not by her logic.
make it eat vegan food? Because the dog would consent to that. You so talking about consent.
I mean, they wouldn't consent to any of the food that anyone gives them. So if you really want to go that route, that doesn't apply specifically to plant-based dog food. That applies to all food that is given to an animal, just like it does to a child who is fed food, by a parent. Yikes! Get it away! We have a dungeon troll on our hands. A dungeon troll. Troll in the dungeon.
Up, down, left, right, and sideways. But then when it comes to like actually giving your animals consent, you don't leave the front door open. You force-feed vegan food, which is probably not that healthy for them.
Because they don't have the capacity to consent, you ding-dong. That's why we have guardianship over them, like we do even in the human context with individuals who lack capacity.
Like, yeah, I'm sure you could do it perfectly and it won't be so bad, but they want to eat meat. That's what they want to do. You're not giving these dogs consent, okay? You're forcing them to do something against their will, okay? So you're really not that much better.
What the fuck? I wish you had an argument so I could actually tackle it, but this is just absolute pain and fucking just diarrhea excreting from your mouth hole.
You're not, all right? You're just crazy on the internet. screaming and hate farming, because you know that like if you're an asshole and you call out everybody, people are going to see the videos. But you know what, I'm tired of it.
I mean, you might be being an asshole and hating on everybody. That might be something that you're doing, but at least, you know, for everything she's done, at least she has some sort of message that is, you know, in the interest of protecting sentient beings. You're just like, oh, fucking hell, I'd eat a dog if it got someone to shut up. I just know that if it came to it and he saw this, he'd be like, oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke, bro. You know, it's just a joke. I was joking. Can't you take a joke? It'd be that. But at the same time, I wouldn't actually put it past him to be like, yeah, fuck these animals. Like, that's fine. What does the animal have to do at all with how you feel about that vegan teacher? What have they done to you? They've done nothing. Yet it's just amazing. I don't know.
I'm done with you. You're boring. You are.
Don't make videos then on her. Yeah, if you know, like when I get bored, I skip a video or I give up on it. You know, I'm nearly bored with you, to be honest with you, because you're, I don't care. No, I don't care. Yeah, edgy like bullshit is actually getting a little bit boring. So, you know, if it gets too boring for me, I'll just turn it off. Yet here you are, conveniently, hate farming. Is that what happens with this channel? Is this a hate farm channel?
Boring, because every single fucking video is like an appeal to emotion.
No, actually, if you'd watched every single video, you would have seen that she actually does the things that you criticised her for not doing. Interesting. It just gets more interesting as time proceeds, really. Oh, God.
All right, all you do is
And it's not necessarily an appeal to emotion. Okay, she does talk about, you know, feelings and stuff, but she also talks about logical inconsistency. I mean, in this fucking... Oh, God. Right, hang on. Oh, God. Hang on. I just need to fucking just shit everywhere, really. In this very fucking video that you are responding to, she even brought up logical inconsistency. Oh, well, we're fine with this happening to pigs, cows, chickens, but, you know, when it happens to dogs, we think that's morally wrong. Hello? How about you just listen to the fucking video you're fucking responding to? And maybe you'll find the answer therein. Shit.
call out some random content creator who's talking about something random. Like, oh, I'm calling out Internet of J. He's talking.
This is why I don't make this critique of like people, like, unless they do what he's doing, where they're like, oh, all you do is you call out people and you hate farm. Because it's like, what's your channel then? What is your channel? You're just calling people out. Why are you just calling out random people? What the fuck are you doing? Hang on, let's have a little look at your channel, shall we? So we're mentioning Boogie, quite a famous person, right? David Dobrik, that vegan teachers all talk, and then yeah, we got political stuff. We got a TikTok star over here. Like, what the fuck is your channel then, you ding dong? Like, what is this? Huh? What's it?
He's making rise and fall videos about like people who have faded into irrelevance, and you're like, oh my god, but what about the vegans? There's a time, there's a place, and then your social advocation is poop. No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know this about like YouTube, but you voluntarily click on a video, and if you like this, you think, oh, this is not the appropriate time and place, you know, to do this, then you just turn it off, which I'm about to do, because I'm starting to think this isn't very appropriate, you know, mocking the suffering and death of other sentient beings. You know, just, I'm starting to feel that way.
Nobody's like, oh my god, that vegan teacher, poggers. Nobody's being converted by what you're saying. Nobody's feeling in any positive capacity. All right, people are just like, I don't care. You're just causing people to double down on their confirmation bias because you're just annoying, and then you're constantly equating the suffering of animals to people. Like you're like, vegan phobic. It's worse.
Wait, don't necessarily need to equate. She's just comparing. Can't remember her position on whether or not like all animals. I think she might be actually all animals are like equal, every single one of them. But yeah, I just don't. What's the morally relevant difference between them and us that would justify exploiting, killing them, and mocking their suffering and death?
Worse than being homophobic. Oh, we're enslaving animals. It's like black people back in the day in America. Oh, we're cows so that we can get.
Well, talking as a gay, it makes sense if I'm a person who would not want to be oppressed over something, a factor that I cannot control, a factor that isn't morally wrong. Of course, it would make sense, you know, if I want those rights preserved and I want to be protected and I think that's unfair if those rights are violated, then it should follow that I think the same for other individuals who can experience, suffer, feel love, pain.
Get their milk. Oh, what about, you want to know what? Honestly, even if that's all true, I don't care nearly as much about a fucking cow as I do a person. So, like,
Just because you don't care about them nearly as much as you do humans, I mean, I'm yet to be convinced that, you know, you really, I don't know if you care much about anything at all. I'm getting that impression. But first impressions, they can be deceiving, absolutely. Willing to grant that. However, you don't need to care about them that much or nearly as much to, you know, avoid directly participating in their rights violations. You don't need to do that. So I don't know why you're even bringing this up. I don't know what relevance that has on your personal behaviour and whether or not you ought to do it.
this appeal to emotion, it's just not hit.
I mean, you're talking about appealing to emotion and then you're talking about whether or not you care. And that seems to navigate whether or not you participate in these things. All right, okay, yeah, okay.
Hitting me. Okay, like, oh man, so it's just not getting me. You know what it's getting? It's making me feel like you're just using these social narratives so that you can push your fucking vegan message, but it's just like not the same thing. We're not animals, okay? That's the reality. Oh, it's species focused.
We're not animals. Oh, God. Do I proceed with this? I mean, what do you think we are? We're mammals. What do you think a mammal is? Oh, God. Oh, God. We're so close. I'm just going to push further. I'm going to do it. I'm going to push through. But shit, when people go down the route of, oh, humans aren't animals.
Phobic, yes, I don't care. Animals are dumb, okay? I don't fucking...
You just said we weren't animals. And then you called animals dumb. I just think there would have been a less painfully ironic time to make that claim.
care. I know that sounds mean, and maybe there's this advanced form of life in the atmosphere and
I know this sounds mean, but I don't give a fuck because might makes right, and I don't give a shit about anyone else but myself, really.
in the stars that would look at us and say the same thing. Okay, that's life, brother. I don't give a...
Okay, so this, I mean, he's not formally, given his worldview, but I guess this is kind of an informal version of if aliens came down and said the exact same thing about us, that's fine. That's life. It just so happens that that's not what's happening. We won the, genetic lottery, and therefore, fine. I really think if War of the Worlds was happening in front of us, something in your mind would go, oh, I really wish that they would just have some mercy. It's just so easy for these people to take this position when they are not at risk. But if aliens came down and you had the option and you're like, look, if you could control what they could think, would you want them to not believe in something like you believe, like might makes right, because they're dumb, therefore that's fine. Like, would you prefer that they didn't? I can guarantee you'd go, yeah, like I really would like them to have some mercy and think, oh God, there's nothing, about like humans that makes it justified to exploit each other. I really think that would happen. Maybe I'm completely wrong, okay? And you're just so freaking miserable that you want some aliens to come down and freaking violate your belly button. Okay, maybe.
Give a fuck. Okay?
Okay,
Animals
cool.
aren't the same as humans to me.
They don't need to be the same as humans. They're not the same as humans to me. It's because humans aren't all the same, and other species of animals aren't all the same. So it kind of makes weird sense to go, oh, I categorize dogs and humans in the exact same thing. Like, everything about them is just the same. I come across this dog, it's the exact same dog as this one, the conveyor belt of these species. And this is, it's just not as simple as that.
That's how people feel. So this weird appeal is just like ridiculous.
Oh, yeah,
it's just a
that's what's
ridiculous appeal.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's just a weird shaming narrative. And even if you're right that people should go vegan, and you want to know what people probably should move towards, maybe not veganism, but move towards better things.
Like veganism. That doesn't entail the rights violations, because even if you are like plant-based every day except one day, then you're still going to have those rights violations. You're still going to have those individuals killed and exploited. So what else are we going to move to that doesn't entail that? Hell, in the future, we're going to have to go beyond veganism. probably. I could see that happening. When it becomes even easier to just be plant-based, that is the system, then you'll find something else that I can't even think really right now what it would be, because it's hard to like envisage the future.
Like grass-fed cows and whatnot, because it's better for...
Wait. Do not say the environment, or I'm going to shit everywhere. You're going to make me shit. Do not say for the environment.
For the environment.
According to fucking what? According to fucking what? According to fucking what?
Right? We should make reasonable moves towards less animal suffering, but also
When you speak, do you hear yourself at all?
towards like industries that don't create greenhouse gases. I was watching somebody said this to me the other day, and they were like, you know, that when it comes to we could have a lot. The environment would be much healthier if we grass-fed all of our cows, because apparently we feed them like shit.
Yeah, stop listening to your friends and read some data. Everybody just say grass-fed cows. Where the hell are they going to go? That's the first fucking problem. All that space that they need to occupy in order to grass-feed. Do you know how many billion cows there are on the planet right now? Papa gut leftovers. Many. Do you know how many calories they need in a day, their recommended daily intake? Yeah. Do you know how many places on the planet that can't harbour, constant grass feeding? And do you know what constitutes as grass feeding?
That makes them fart a lot. And I know that sounds crazy, but cow farts are a massive contributor to greenhouse gases and global warming. But if you just
finally said something that's correct, that's great.
Feed them better, it actually makes them have less farts. It sounds insane.
But they still produce the methane and through their farts and burps, don't they? Even if you feed them better. Nobody tip me ever again, because that's how I get my beans.
But it's a real thing. And it's like, this is how I would advocate. It's like, yeah, move to less suffering. But then you got things like these Impossible Burgers, and I misspoke on this, that are so unhealthy for you too.
It's funny when people bring up Impossible Burgers, because there's so many arguments in the vegan community about whether or not Impossible Burgers are even vegan in the first place. So it's like, oh god.
And here's a really highly processed plant burger that we stuff with carbs to fill it up, and it's like.
Wait, now we're talking about health. So I thought we were talking about the environment. Some things are just unhealthy for you, and you can either eat them or not. I mean, it gets kind of complicated sometimes. Feels like less of a choice. But yeah, there's unhealthy plant-based foods, and then there's healthy plant-based foods. This is not rocket science, really.
Well, that's not a reasonable alternative, because, people that already are...
I'm sorry, do you think that a burger by proxy is healthy for you? Who's eating a burger patty comprised of the bodies of sentient beings, once sentient beings, for health? Who is doing that? Because I need to just knock on their head. Just to check.
They're carb sensitive, like diabetics. They're not going to be able to eat shit like that.
Depends what plant-based food it's comprised of, because there's going to be lower carb, plant foods.
I'm saying, so where's the reasonable alternative? Why don't you make a video that would guide people through the ability to even eat? It's difficult to eat your calories fully as a vegan.
Oh my god, let's critique her. She needs to show people how to eat now. Shit. Absolutely shit.
Where's your video that's like, I have to take these supplements because I'm vegan and I need to get these nutrients that I can't usually get through plants because they don't really exist in the high enough capacity. And or maybe you just let your bones shatter from your fucking higher rate of being able to get osteoporosis. I don't really know.
You don't know, no. So just stop, yeah? Just stop.
But where's your vegan recipe video?
They are on the channel.
You know what I mean? Where's your vegan cookbook? Why you plugging?
Okay, I'm stopping now. Okay, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. That was actually 9 minutes and 12 seconds of absolute pain. Thank you so much for playing the game.